Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. And this is a Divine Awakenings episode, and really excited. I think this might be number 7 now, so really excited to have a new friend that has come into my life recently. And it's just been beautiful connecting with so many people that are like-minded, and it just feels like more and more of us are coming together that have that same purpose, and really want to make change and see change happen for others, for themselves, and for the world. And so the Sulinara is, and I'm sorry if I've not pronounced that properly, and I'm sure you'll say that, is a channel, and she is bringing through messages from her guides that's really helping up level people and bringing through codes that's activating and changing the collective consciousness by her unique imprint and her unique signature. And we're all here obviously to play our part, and she's truly stepping into her purpose. And obviously there's been a journey to get to where she is and activating her gifts. And this is what I want to share with you all, because when we start to see how people have stepped into their purpose and have these divine awakenings, it gives permission for the people to go, okay, I kind of understand how this can kind of work. And obviously it happens differently for all of us, but we are shifting into higher states of consciousness, and it isn't always easy, but it gets easier. And so bringing these people on this podcast or for this conversation is going to really help others. Our intention is to help others be inspired and bring awareness and how they can make changes in their lives to be able to anchor in higher states of consciousness. And so without further ado, I would like to just say thank you so much for being on the podcast and being open to have this chat. And so what is life presenting for you right now that you're witnessing?
There's definitely a shifting. Personally, for me, there's another up leveling of like the energies that are landing, like stepping more into my like divinity and power and strength as a guide into new earth. Like
Mm.
I've trickled along at certain places and gone, this is what it is, and actually no, wham, this a lesson comes through and it's like, whoa, oh, it gets to be bigger, it gets to be something else, it gets to shift into another way of being. So I'm really learning to open up and surrender and to be really curious as to where life is going to go, because we think, oh, we got the thing, this is it. There's all, the universe has always got a plan, and the universe is always there, like with these beautiful gift baskets going, oh, and this is available and this is available. So I'm sitting in more of my surrender energy and moving forward from my heart now, rather than my mind and trying to plan, and things are actually like falling into place beautifully. I think
Yeah.
we were just talking a minute ago about a colleague of mine, or another, the healer and myself, we're having like a co-working space, like a spiritual co-working space, where we do a little ceremony and have a little dance and work together, and we'd be bouncing ideas. And a few days beforehand I was thinking it might be nice to grow this, and then there's this beautiful synchronicity where she went, shall we grow this? So yeah, that's going to happen now. And I just love how these things can open, and it gets to be easy. Like I set something up and people will come and it's this new earth awakening energy is I thought I had it before, but it's deeper. Like it is actually happening now, where we really get to open these spaces up and see and start taking the actions as well, but guided actions as well. And a lot of the societal stuff that's crumbling down, like there's so much I've released over
Yeah,
time. So yeah.
that's beautiful. And I think really it just, you get to a point where you start to learn, like, you don't have to effort.
Mm.
And when you truly surrender, things will align at the right time.
Mhm.
And we are programmed so deeply to, we have to work hard, we have to do this to make things happen, and we really don't. Like, when you truly surrender, it'd be great to hear how what surrender is looks like for you, is
Mhm.
set an intention. How fun would this be to grow it? Or, and then just not attaching to it, and then the universe hears that call, and then it aligns beautifully. And I just want to share that just came to me as you were talking was, I've been wanting a new bed. And I literally said, I really want a new bed. I want a new mattress. And it'd be like, oh, I just want to make sure it's the right one for me and it's aligned and it's perfect. And I asked my guy to just make sure that that's going to happen. Anyway, I got through the letterbox a flyer for beds, all these different types of beds with like all the discounts, and they've got really great deals and they're really good quality ones. I was like, there was no effort. I didn't have to go out, find a bed, you know what I mean? It was just, so this is how fun life can be when you start dancing and co-creating with the universe, right? And so that's what reminded me of that when you were speaking. And so what does surrender actually look like for you? How do you navigate that? Because it's not always easy, right?
Yeah, definitely. It is a lot of letting go. Like you say, we're programmed into you've got to get the A, B, and C done to get to D type of
Mm,
thing. Where now, and I used to be a push, like exhaustion, like doing so much. Well, now I actually had a download with my guides in my garden the other day. I was just lying down, just seeing beautiful like sacred geometry, and my guides like connect with me in different ways. But this was different; like they landed deeply within my body, and it's almost like my whole body was talking to me, and it said, "Peace,
mm,
pleasure.
mm,
Prioritize your peace and your pleasure."
mm,
Like, and it just made
mm,
so much sense because
yeah,
us, you, the person listening to this, like we're here to make change in the
mm,
world, but we've got to prioritize our peace and our
mm,
pleasure first
yes.
above anything else. Because when we nourish ourselves, when we listen to the body, when we have those spaces of peace and pleasure, and they can be like lots of little windows throughout the day, it raises our consciousness, it elevates our frequency, and we can just step into that like open space, that feeling of, yeah, feeling free and feeling nurtured and feeling healthy.
Mm,
And the surrender part as well, it is literally like starting the day. For me, it's got to be as soon as I wake up. I speak to myself in a way of, I'm a channel of light, I'm
mm,
embodying new earth, and just saying these beautiful things as soon as I
mm,
wake up. And it's like how you start the day creates the day. So I do some channel writing, I do qigong, I do kriya, mantra, and I do a little mix of things. I just go with what feels right on the day, because for me, having like something I've got to do, I become a real rebel. Like, oh, if I got to do the thing, I don't want to do it. So it's got to be something quite free and flowing. Like some days I can spend 3 hours doing my spiritual routine in the morning, and I used to get up at like 5:30, and I will do that some from time to time as well. If I'm like, oh, now is the time I need to really like hunker down.
mm,
Or it could be just channel writing, a little bit of meditation, some of my affirmations. And not really having a plan, like just living the day and having
mm,
those peaceful moments and really enjoying every part of the day. Like it's everything is a gift. Like even the gnarly bits is a gift. The universe has recognized, oh, you're ready for this upgrade, and the upgrade is obviously quite often a difficulty in our life, or something feels like it's crumbling, but the
mm,
universe knows you're ready, so that's why it's shifting. So when there's a bit of chaos, I'm like, oh, what's happening now? What am I moving into now? And it all gets to be exciting, and it all gets to be something to look into and to like develop on and create and expand. So I guess like in a nutshell, surrender to me is living a life completely in the moment, and definitely not working from the mind, like working from the heart, like
mm,
like being present from the heart. And just big lesson for me was being patient. I've never been
mm,
patient, where now I'm like,
yeah.
it'll happen when it's meant to happen, like, oh, do, and then these things are happening. It's not a, definitely no force, and it's and it's just nurturing and just seeing the beauty beauty for the world for what it is, really.
Yeah, no, beautiful. It obviously at first it can feel like, what does letting go mean? What does all of this mean? This is like, I'm struggling with like paying my bills at the moment. I'm struggling to get by, and my outside world it's just full of chaos. And the fact that you've come to a place where you see the beauty in that, what advice or what would you say to somebody who can't quite see that right now? Do you have any tips or advice what you'd say to that if you were like speaking to them one to one, or
Mm.
um yeah, just to give somebody a bit of hope or to know it's not always going to be like this, right?
Yeah, the thing that's really helped me through that, because my spiritual teacher is in Glastonbury, and he taught me a few like affirmations to say, and it's like tapping on the thymus, and it's I've not done them for a while, but when he first taught them to me, I was doing them like all the time, but then things started to shift, and it's like, oh yeah, and it's tapping on here, going, just being really in the moment, not even focusing in on the breath, but and I used to do it first thing in the morning as well, like tapping on here and going, I'm on this planet, and really letting that sit in, like I'm on this planet. I am
Mm,
safe, because we are actually safe. We're
mm,
not
mm,
being got by saber-toothed tigers. There's not tribes knocking down our doors and stuff like. So as I'm on this planet, I am safe. The universe is always looking after me,
mm,
because it is. No matter what's going on, the, whatever's happening, there's a lesson in that. Like I've been through like a few narcissistic relationships, and it wasn't like got it, and I was
mm,
like completely stepped into my power. It's like boof, and I learned it, and then that shift, and it just all crumbled down, and it was completely different. So those statements were really powerful to go to, like in the moment,
mm,
as many times. Like I've been there, I've had to use food banks, and I've had to do a debt management plan,
mm,
and complete like full disclosure, I've been in the like scarcity, and there are
mm,
still some, still some stuff going on. Like we all have struggle, like even
mm,
when we see these people, when we're in that space and we see people who we think is successful, we all have our struggle.
mm,
There's always stuff going on, because I know some people that, like looking at them, they look like they're like got all the stuff, and they're happy. They're not. There's
mm,
stuff going on, and it's not to like disconnect or to I definitely don't work with judgment. I've worked a lot with judgment, and that's just not a frequency in my being anymore. But it's just to recognize we're all going through our own evolution. So bringing it back to yourself and realizing that you're on this planet, you are
mm,
safe, and the universe is always looking after you, because you will be getting these little nudges, and it might be a case of getting you to an edge, because there was an edge that I had as well, because I was working full time helping people with severe mental illness. I was doing my business. I also rent my house out for Airbnb, and it was just like I couldn't pay my bills. All the stuff was going on the credit cards, and the universe kept on saying to me, my guys kept on saying to me, reduce your hours at work. But I'm like, but I can't pay my bills as they are at the minute. How am I going to do that? But I did that. I did it. I took the leap, and it's all balanced out. It's
mm,
all balanced out. And it's something shifted, and it's opened. So I've got so much more energy. I'm so much more present, peace and pleasure, all that. Um, so yeah, that's a really good tool to sit in that and feel it for yourself, and go with what the heart feels as well. And it might feel like something really bonkers, and it might feel like, oh, what would people think if I do this thing? If it feels right to you, like speak to people on the same frequency as you, or mentors, or like us, I guess, and feel into that, because we are creating a new earth now, where it's ingenuity, and it's creativity, and it's creating this new way. So what you're thinking might feel completely bonkers, like, oh, everyone's going to think I'm crazy. There's going to be people that get it, and it's probably that you've got something that's birthing, now that's good for you and good for your family and good for your friends and good for the wider community. So yeah, sit with that. It just feels like a good message to send.
Yeah, no, brilliant. I mean, I started doing that. It's like the tapping, isn't it? And I started to just do it on my heart, and I noticed it became more in my body, and I just started to notice my breathing. So that is really powerful because, yeah, I've
Mm.
done that myself and started to adopt that, and it really is. And really, thanks for sharing that. And let's go back a little bit then. So, would you say that you, because some people are born with gifts and spiritual and have this like knowing that, because we're not from this earth, we're in, this is our meat suit, right? And
Yeah.
so some are like, okay, I knew there was something quite off, or did this develop later on? How did that play out for you?
Yeah, so as a kid, like I remember this like really vivid memory of being in, I think it was Holyhead in Wales, and just looking up like the stars were stunning. I was just looking at the stars, and there was just something went, there's something here. There's like some sort of connection, and then life happened. Ambulance service, trauma, narcissistic relationships, and it's actually like I'm 53 now, and it was probably only 6 to 8 years ago, because I left the ambulance service and then dropped down into, because I was just completely traumatized and struggled through the ambulance service with dyslexia without disclosing it to anyone. And dropped into another job, which was like out the frying pan into the fire. Dark night of the soul, had a bit of hypnotherapy and went, oh, this really works. I like this. So I became a hypnotherapist. Then in that course, there was a certain weekend which was talking about energy and spirituality. And there was a few other things going on as well. And I was like, oh, wow, what's this? And they had the dividing the thingy rods and stuff, and like the divination, and did that, and then went through a thing called the spiral, which is, and everything that I've done, I've literally just had a nudge and I've gone, oh, I've got to do that thing.
Mm,
And at the time, I used to invest in things that were really expensive. Now isn't the time to do that. Like our communities and the people around us are the people that can help us and support us. And there are, like, it's listening to your innate wisdom. There are connections with teachers and healers and stuff that's necessary. I'm going off track. So I went through the spiral, which was a big investment at the time, and literally it was almost as if my life had all this scaffolding and it was keeping me really like limited. And because I had severe anxiety, I was one of those people where you probably wouldn't have seen it from the outside, but I was like constantly like in my head and completely like second guessing myself, bringing up like all sorts of health conditions in there. So I went through the spiral, and it's almost as if that all crumbled. I came out of it going, oh my God, who am I? Like, I'm not that person. I don't want to be a people pleaser anymore. I don't want to be like the one that I was literally putting myself last and putting everyone else first. And then became a spiral practitioner, and supported people through that, and with all these, and then the embodied I Ching as well, did that, got the tattoo to prove it. And and it's been this steady journey. And then I had all these modalities, and I was like starting to bring all these things together, and then I was in this deep meditation, and all of a sudden these really weird like singing gobbledygook, what felt like language, came through, and I was like, wow, what was that? Went to a spiritual friend of mine. She said, oh, that's light language. I'm like, what the heck is light language? And she told me, and I started to do some research, but then went, oh, actually, I don't want to look into what other people are doing or what other people's like explanation of it is. I'm going to play with it. So I started to bring it into my work, and then the
mm,
tonality, the resonance work started to come through. And then my good friend and teacher in Glastonbury connected me to Solara Anra, and went and did a few workshops with her in Portugal. Poof, healer, channel, activated, and been a few years now, but I've just been opening up to that more and more and more, and so it's been a steady journey, but it's been lots of these little nudges, because
mm,
also as well. I think a big part of my journey is that when I left the ambulance service, as a paramedic practitioner, the ideal job is to work in a GP surgery. And I was in this awful job, couldn't see any way of getting out to it. And they came and they said, we've got a job for you now. You can come. Money was great, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, no long hours, no night shifts. And I was like, oh, yeah, initially. But then over a few weeks, I was like, oh, nah. And I was like, I can't do it. There's something in me that tells me I can't do it. And that was a big spiritual nudge. And I knew there was something else coming, but I didn't know what it was. So it's just moving into that space, that surrender, and just allowing that to open up. And I did that, and I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm fulfilled. I'm living in my own house. I live here with my daughter and beautiful dog, connecting with beautiful people. And I'm sharing this ancient channel, which I've done in many, many previous lifetimes. And I'm stepping into more confidence, probably isn't the right word, but more honoring of what I hold, and recognizing that in everyone is this beautiful beam of light expressing themselves in the universe. And we have our shadows and we have our filters and we have all the stuff, but they're all falling away. They're all like it's time for them to shift. Piscean age is back there, and we're just doing the work to clear this stuff so we can like fully embody as these beautiful multidimensional beings as we are. And I can't even remember what your original question was now, but
No, I mean, you're flowing and it's great. And I'm just
yeah.
like, yes, I'm loving it. And there
Mm.
was so much there. It was kind of like your journey. And wow, and this is it. It's these slow nudges that we get. And this is exactly what I had. It was like, and then you question it. It's like, well, how is that related to that? And we can't do this from the mind, can we? But it's normal to have doubt. And this is where I've got my workshop, and I've kind of also been upgraded since I've upgraded, called How to Harness Your Intuition, Step Into Your Joy. Because when you do listen to your intuition, you really do step into your joy.
Mm.
And yeah, it might be a bit uncomfortable at first to follow those nudges, but oh my God, your life will shift when you trust it. And people need like a real practical steps on how to do that. So if you are interested, join that workshop. But the other thing you said, which is so interesting, you said that, because I'm going to actually do a little video on this, because I'm being asked to show up more on YouTube and bring up more of my channel in through, which I'm gonna do. And I've had some resistance, and it's like, because being looked at and seeing like, what is she doing, but you've just got to follow the nudge. It's not about me, it's not about us, right? We're helping shift the collective to bring in, heaven on earth, right? And you said one thing is one of the things that you start to ask yourself, who am I? And I really believe it's one of the most important questions we'll ever ask ourselves. And when we start to ask that question, or when people are saying, I don't know who I am, I get really excited. I'm like, great. Because now you had to let go of the identity of being a paramedic and all of that. And how was that for you?
Do you know, at the time, really difficult, because I was so connected to that lifestyle. It was like a family, like there's lots of banter. And like I'm still doing it now in some social aspects, and it's just letting go of that, like expectation of society of you and speaking in your truth. Like I would never have done anything like this before, and I would have been super nervous before, where now I'm actually recognizing, and I'm going to go off on another tangent now, but it's meant to be, that I'm recognizing like we're all expressions of the universe. So actually, why should I be nervous? Well, actually, I'm speaking to myself when I'm speaking to you, and I'm channeling to myself when I'm channeling to other people. Yeah, and it can be hard, and then I'm just a full disclosure now, like there's like little patterns and habits that we have, and it's just recognizing them and going, why have I always been doing that? It's like when my daughter goes to a dad's, and I was lying in bed the other night and I was thinking, why have I got pajamas on? Why have I got pajamas? I don't actually want to wear pajamas. So I was like I want to be naked in my house. Why can't I be naked in my house? And it was because I had to cover myself up
Mm.
where I used to live because I didn't want certain attention. When I'm like, oh, I'm in my house, wow. And it was like, oh wow, okay. I think that was another part of that peace and pleasure coming in. Like,
Mm.
yeah, I want to, yeah, do that thing. So that's a bit random to come up, but um, yeah.
No, I love that. And it's like it's freeing as well, isn't it? You
Mm.
know, and so we have these programs just go so deep, they're so layered, aren't they? Like, you know, it's just, you know, we came into this world with like nothing, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, apart from our connection to God, you know, and so we is that oneness. And you know, when you were started to say, "Who am I?" What answer did you get back? I'm really curious.
Um, I think for me, when I had that, it there was a lot of trust because it didn't land, and like someone said, oh my god, a minimum a year until you get to know yourself, and actually it's a lifetime
Mhm.
of getting to know yourself, and it's really it's trying stuff out as well. It's a bit of a trial and error, to be honest. And it's definitely like heart consciousness, like really going from what you want to do from your heart, not the mind, not the societal stuff. Like, what do I want to do? And if I just want to sit and watch telly, I'm just going to sit and watch telly. Not that I do that actually very often, um, but it's giving yourself to be permission to flow into stuff, and um, not doing not always doing, like, you can get advice from people, but take what you will. Because I used to get advice from people and go, oh, okay, I've got to do all the things step by step, exactly what they've said because they know the thing.
Mm.
And that's not the way. What I'm seeing nowadays is a case of like receiving these things and going, yes, 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 nah, yes, nah, and just feeling into what's right for you rather than like any teachings or any, like, because a lot of the work that I do, it's about awakening your like innate wisdom. Like, everyone out there, you, me, we already have everything we need there, poised, ready. It's not about like bringing this stuff in or learning it. It's like it's there, it's
Mm.
all waking up.
Mm.
It's just a case of like peeling back the layers, activating it, following, and getting yourself in a certain place in life, and then it all like pow. And knowing as well, like something that came through when you were talking earlier. I think it was Alan Kahn. It's a book that's something like the universe always has a plan. Like, I've listened to that a couple of times driving to or from Glastonbury, and one of the things he says, like, you have done nothing wrong. And like, literally, if you let that sit with you and realize I've done nothing wrong, because the universe always has a plan and everything that's happened was meant to happen, and that just like drops so much like feelings about maybe not doing it right, maybe like good stuff, bad stuff, whatever. It just drops all of that like historic stuff, going, ow, it's a book that should have been written exactly like that, and you get to be here and now. And then the universe always has a plan. So whatever's happening, you have done nothing wrong. You will never do anything wrong. Everything is guided and meant to be. Like, there's always like free will, but even
Mm.
with that free, and it's a collaboration, and yeah.
And it takes the pressure off. And when you were speaking then, it reminded me of a quote from somebody called Peter Crone. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's like the mind architect. And he said, what happened, happened. And was it meant to happen any other way? Why? Because it didn't.
Mm,
And it's nice, isn't it? Just to
mm,
know, and I love that. It's the dance and really being comfortable with just knowing when to act, because it's that dance between the divine feminine and masculine. We're not meant to be doing all the time. Like, actually there's so much we are creating in the obviously unseen realms when we're resting, when we're in stillness, and you'll know when it's the time to act. You'll just know. And I do mantra practice every morning with a group, and one of the things that was coming through, and that was, it's quite arrogant, which is all ego, for us to think that we're in control,
Mm.
and we're the ones got it all figured out, and
Mm.
we're not the ones really doing it. There's a higher power, and so I just trusting and allowing that. And so, would you say part of your divine awakening was, what was the pivotal that really was like? Was it the opening up to light language and the channeling? Was that the main?
Um, that's definitely one of the big ones for sure. I don't know because it's for me it's not been like one of the big things was like when I was with my ex, like I wasn't on this spiritual journey at all, but looking back, I had a massive awakening
Mm,
because I like it was just before lockdown and I was in the garden, he was reading, I think my daughter was doing her thing in her bedroom, and I just had this like vision of me passing away and going, I regretted not doing stuff.
oh
And then
wow.
it's like, zoom, and then I did. Then I was like, how would that be if I did do the stuff I wanted to do? And then and it was it'd be like, like my heart just felt so big and like so happy and like, oh my God, all this beautiful feelings. And it was like, bam, 2, 3 days later, that was it. I was out. But it was something like it had been coming for a long
Yeah.
time. But that was a big awakening for me. I stepped into my truth and I stepped into my like, nah, I've got to live this life for me. And it's been that divinely selfish in a way, and just knowing that you've got to do what's right for you first, honorably, kindly, respectfully, but and it's disconnecting from, in a way, like not responsibility, but disconnecting from the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. Like things come and things go, like relationships come and they divide and stuff. So, but for me, generally, like my journey, it's been lots of nudges, and I can imagine, like after this call, I'm like, oh no, there's that time and this time, and it'll come back later. But at the minute, for
Yeah.
me, it was, I wouldn't say it was a gentle journey. There's been like some like gnarly bits for sure, but like it's been like a slow progression. It's not been this like you hear of people having this big like vision or this awakening or just like
Mm.
this thing. No, it can be this gentle journey as well, and respecting that, you
Yeah.
know.
And I think that and that's what most people on this channel, it's all been gentle nudges, and there might have been a few big things, but
Mm,
it's all been quite gentle because we have lessons, we have karmic lessons we need to kind of go through at the same time. And,
mm,
a lot of NDE people, like that could be a big shake up, but we all
mm,
agreed exactly the path we were going to take to obviously deal with those lessons as well. And so, and you are going to beautifully do a channeling for us and bring in the guide. And so, just for people who aren't aware of how it works for you, because I know it works differently for the channels. How does it work for you? Like, yeah, explain the process
sorry, what do you mean? How does it work for me?
when you're connecting in. Sorry, with your guides. Like, how do they fully take over? Because there's all different types of channeling,
Oh, I
isn't
see. Yeah, so I'm like an embodiment channel. So it's not trance, so I am there
it? Hmm.
still. So I connect to it's like deeply grounding, deeply connecting with source energy. Then I call in the guides, and you'll see that in a second. And the Galactic Star Council who I work with, there's this like beautiful queue, and there's like three ascendant masters, and angelics, star soul families like Arcturians, Palladians, a shaman like wisdom, and that you'll notice when like there's a tone change or a light language will change. Like one will come in, there'll be another one. That might not so much come in this because it's going to be quite short, but it's this beautiful collaboration. It's almost like they tag each other, like my turn, and they come in. So it's light language, which holds the light codes. It's a resonance healing. So it's like this beautiful sonic that comes through, and it like recalibrates us into our like divine essence, like universal balance, like it's sacred geometry. So I see quite a lot when I'm working, and like when I work in groups or one-to-ones, or even this, I'll be seeing the work that they're doing quite often, and direct voice channel, so they'll talk through me as well, so it won't be my voice, it can be high pitched or lower, or whatever it is. But I've had quite a few guides come through, and I'm learning as well, it's like a collaboration, so And they're not my guides, it's the guides that work through me, they work through other people, and it's
Mm,
the guides of the people that I work through come through as well. So it's this beautiful collaboration, and the Galactic Star Council that I work with, that they are bringing in light and love. That's their purpose. It's like
mm,
elevating that out, and that's who I've worked with for like eons.
mm. Yeah,
So
beautiful.
yeah. Hmm.
And would you say, like, uh, in terms of how has like your lifestyle changed to be able to align to the higher frequencies?
Hmm.
Have you had to make changes in your life to be able to connect in so you can be a clear channel?
Yeah, a lot for me has been like looking after my body. Like we are these multi-dimensional beings, but the vessel for that is through our physical body. So I'm vegan, dairy-free, very rarely have gluten, very rarely have sugar, but I have a most amazing diet. And actually, what I would highly recommend, like for me, for my journey, it's the Cleanse to Heal by Anthony. I forget his surname now, but that's like a 9-day cleanse. And like every day I do that, every time I do that, I did one a little while ago, it just shifts something in me. So it's like a liver cleanse, parasites, and my taste buds changed. And like coming out of it this time, I've eaten and tried a few things and gone, nah, okay, that's not for me anymore. So I really have to look after my body. And I'm also practicing Qigong, like teacher, not quite yet, but I have that wisdom as well. So I have that to nurture my body as well. And I love
Yeah, I mean,
ninjutsu.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, beautiful. I mean, for me, my channel I got activated on a 40-day juice fast like halfway through, and it was like,
Mm.
whoa, what's going on here? And so I think with cleansing our body is really important. I'm on like day 8 of a juice fast now, and God, I've never felt so good. So it is
Mm.
really important to focus on just cleansing and really looking after ourselves, mind, body, and soul, because it's all in relationship.
Yeah,
Great. So, are you okay to bring through a message for people and what's prevalent for them right now and see what the guides want to say?
absolutely. How long we got? Because I don't want to.
Let's yeah, we've got 10 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah, before I have to shoot. Pick up the
lovely. Okay, I can't see if you can see me. Hold on.
Mhm.
Okay, fabulous. So get yourself in a place where you can sit, don't, where you're not going to get disturbed. Sitting up would be best rather than lying down. And connect to earth, connect to source, and then connect and let the guides flow through. It's going to be really quick. What I normally do is a lot longer, but this will be like a mini session. Whew. Okay, so breathing into the body where you are right now, tuning into the heart, visualizing a beautiful golden orb in your heart. And with each heartbeat, this beautiful pulsating energy moving out of your body from the heartbeat. And imagining, because the imagination brings in a truth, brings in a reality, imagining a beautiful cord of light moving down through your chakras, down through the floor, down through the soil, the rocks, the boulders, the crystals, all the way down, 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 all the way down to Mother Earth. And connecting with Mother Earth, her grace, her open armed love, and feeling her love, her embrace moving back up that beautiful cord of light, up through the crystals, the rocks, the boulders, the soil, and into your being and into your heart. Breathing in Mother Earth energies into the heart and expanding these energies out into your whole being. Love, grace, nurturing energy. And now connecting with the central sun, Father Sun energies, all the way out into outer space. And imagining, feeling, sensing this beautiful beam of light, of information, of honor, of activations, moving through space, the vastness of space, past our sun, down through the clouds, down through the atmosphere, down through into your being and into your heart. Breathing in Father Sun energies from above, and breathing out this beautiful protective energy, a light codes energy out throughout your being. And now breathing in Mother Earth from below, Father Sun from above, into the heart. And bringing these two energies together in the heart in balance and flow, and expressing these out into all of your being, perfectly balanced. And breathing in Mother Earth from above, Father Sun from above, Mother Earth from below, Father Sun from above, whilst I connect. I call the white light of Source to me now. I ground myself lovingly into the heart of Gaia. I call back all energies I have given away or left behind to return to me now. I concentrate and expand my aura in all directions to be seen by the highest guides. And I call for the highest guides to flow through me now with a message, with frequencies for whatever is needed to those who are listening. Okay, so we're going directly into voice channel, which doesn't often happen. We are delighted to receive your attention, for you to be receiving our message upon this day. We rejoice in your light, in your curiosity, in your expansion. You are awakening into your true self. It has been spoken upon in this transmission, and aligning yourself to your true self, to your divinity, to your strength, your power, your purpose, your spiritual skills as a multidimensional being is exactly what is called for now, and exactly what we support with. We transmit now a healing which will transmute some energies which are holding you back from knowing yourself. Therefore, enabling yourself from now on to recognize more deeply in your heart what is true for you and what is not. And moving forwards with play and curiosity into your true expression as, and Sulinara likes this word, as bonkers as it may feel, resonating with that truth and knowing you may express this with some that do not get it at all. Do not allow that to stop you. Express it in different circles, in different spaces, and they will get it. So we transmit now light codes and awakening and clearing transmission, including light language and tonality, to crumble some limitations which are preventing you from recognizing and moving forwards in your truth, which is play, curiosity, evolution, and expansion. So. So. We invite you to move forwards with play, curiosity, feeling into the heart, moving forwards. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love and thank you to the guide. So you may want to pause and just sit in that vibration for a moment, just feeling into that, maybe journaling.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was really powerful. And that was just a small little snippet of yeah, and that was great. So how can people find you if they want to work with you and have a full experience of that amazing, activation and your channeling and codes?
Yeah, the easiest way probably to express is my website, which is healawaken.co.uk. I am channeling very regularly on YouTube. There's lots on there, lots of shorts. I'm currently channeling pretty much every other day for about 20 minutes or so. I was just really called for that to come through. I've got a back catalogue of like so many recordings, one specifically that I'm going to download soon. But anyway, I also hold community space every other week at my home for people to come. It's this beautiful ceremony, food, and also a working space, a spiritual working space I'm going to do. And I do like big like group sessions where it's full channel for about an hour, and then a community space afterwards in Sussex, but also in Glastonbury monthly. And yeah, the YouTube channel is Heal Awaken as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'll link all that below for people. And yeah, this has been amazing. It's been really great to connect in with you. It just felt so aligned. And yeah, so thank you for taking the time to share that. And I hope you all got something from this. And yeah, thank you for being here. Please like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I'm going to keep sharing more of these Divine Awakening series because I think it's really what I'm being called to do. So thanks everybody. Have a blessed day.